All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Trying to get my camera right. Oh, there we go. Much better. I am about an hour south of Tampa Bay, Florida. I'll be here one more full day. And then on Friday, I am headed to Tampa. And we'll do maybe a dinner, maybe some drinks. We can drink away our sorrows of what happened today. President Trump has officially stepped down. Biden has officially stepped in. Everything on the internet is being totally censored. Anytime someone sends me a video of something interesting, I click on it an hour later. The video has been censored by YouTube. We have Motorist here with us. Motorist, turn your camera on. We can talk a little bit about this stuff. And give me 1 second, though. I have my tequila. You want to say hi, Dave? I got my gracious host right here.
Hello, YouTube people.
Dave is, this is Dave's place, and him and his wife live here. And I've been able to get some work done during the day in absolutely nice weather today. It gets kind of cold at night, and he's got a this is like a giant hot tub. So that's awesome. At night, it's a nice and chill spot. Whoa. That was not good tone. There we go. Excellent. All right. Motorist. What's going on? Trump published his list of pardons, and the Biden administration has already taken it off the government website. Like, we're literally living in a banana republic right now. It is absolutely insane what's going on. Floor is yours.
Yeah, that's right. This morning when I woke up, I wanted to read the full list because I already knew that, Ross wasn't on the list because I would have known. Basically, I would have seen it somewhere, but I just wanted to go through the list myself. So I went on the official White House website and actually kind of skimmed through the list just to see if there was any names on there that I recognized. And then when I was talking to you on Telegram, I wanted to send you the list. So I went to the website and it wasn't there anymore. The list wasn't there. So I think what happened is that once Biden was inaugurated, his people had control of that website, just like they have control of the POTUS handle on Twitter. And I'm sure they just took it down. So, I mean, I guess I'm not too surprised by that. To me, it's a little creepy, but it's not that creepy, I guess, because it's kind of understandable. You got a new administration coming in.
Right. But you did send me some article. Trump pardoned some Ripple scammer.
Yeah, I looked into it more, and I don't think it's it's bad already, but apparently this had nothing to do with Ripple. This guy, I think, his name is Ken Kurson, if I'm saying that correctly. So this guy, apparently he was a friend of Trump's son or son-in-law, one or the other. And what he was in trouble for had nothing to do with Ripple. So I don't think it's anything related to Ripple. I think it's just
okay. Now, at least that's good to know.
Yeah,
all right.
I think it's coincidental.
I was taking a nosedive. How many live viewers do we have? So I'm kind of in a very bright environment. So but I can still see my charts because they're on a white background, which helps a lot when you're sitting there in the middle of the sun. So we can do some charts.
We got over 1,000.
Got over 1,000 live viewers.
Yeah.
All right. I shot this message. I shot the link over to Erica as well, Bank of Erica. And I know she's a little upset. We all thought that maybe there was a way, look, I knew Trump wasn't going to be president. I was pretty much saying that for a while now. But I was still hoping he would arrest as many socialists and communists as he could. And the cheaters in the election, I was hoping he would arrest them. And then maybe have Biden pardon them or whatever Biden wants to do. So I was hoping, he'd put some of these bad politicians in handcuffs. And I should talk to our graphic designer, World of Rusty. Trump came into office saying he was going to drain the swamp. And it looks like the swamp ate him.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that, Tone. In the end, Trump was just a big pussy. Sorry to say that. Sorry to use that language on your channel. But that's what he was.
It's fine. Yeah, we're gonna be what can Tone do to get banned, but not bad ban. Like I'm not gonna do really illegal stuff. It's what can Tone do in terms of freedom of speech that's legitimate freedom of speech to get them banned from YouTube, because the only way I'm actually going to explore YouTube alternatives, and if I get banned, I will be off Twitter by end of year. I will not have my Twitter account by end of year. I promise you guys that. Right now, I'm cross-posting everything on Gab and BitcoinHackers.org, Mastodon, Federated Chain. And I will be exploring other options for video as well. Right now, it would probably be BitChute and Rumble. Those are my YouTube options. I need to get off Zoom as well, another US spyware machine. I need to go over to StreamYard. They're a little more open source. It is also time to get rid of the Facebook account. I wish there was a Facebook mimic thing that can you just export your Facebook stuff onto a Facebook competitor, but maybe we shouldn't have Facebook. So it's getting really bad. I was really depressed today. Someone sent me that article that an airport in, might have been you, I don't know who sent it to me. I tweeted it out. An airport in Iowa is going to have COVID screenings. So not only are they going to mandate vaccines to get on a flight, they're going to have like a doctor standing there, sticking something up nose, up wherever, either down your throat or up something else, in order to check you for COVID before you get on a flight. This is all leading to, what I really want to say, I can't say because I get my channel banned immediately, but I really hope people fight back. I really hope people fight back. But based on the comments that I get to this videos and my tweets, it's like everyone just wants to, nope, I can't say that either. Everyone just wants to get on their knees and do what to the government. Can't say it.
So I want to thank Bernoulli's helping us out with the questions. That we have a super chat. I can't understand what this question is, but God's Cop sent us $5 in light of how something was violated. How secure do you think cryptos can be? Which I don't know. I don't think that's a relevant question, but thank you for the super chat.
Let me see. I'm pulling up the chat in white background. Was it a super chat?
Yeah, it was a super chat, a blue one.
In light of how I don't know what that word is. Oh, hold on. V ** E.
I don't know if it's a shit coin or if it's a curse word. I don't know what that is.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I don't understand that question either. All right. Anyway, we got to look at the charts. I'm very serious about getting out somehow. But the problem of getting out is most countries won't let you in. Oh, vote. VOTE is vote. Okay. You can say vote. You don't need to censor or vote. In light of how our votes, if it was plural, that would have been better, was violated. How secure can crypto be? Oh, crypto is very secure. I mean, look, whoever counts the votes, whoever creates the votes and counts the votes wins the election. And it's over. I mean, it would be nice if Ron DeSantis becomes the next president, but there's no way that's going to happen. I mean, I'm here in Florida. Somebody showed me, Dave here showed me an awesome tweet by Tour de Meester that we have to pull up. And wait, hold on. Erica is texting me. Oh, shoot. You mind grabbing my phone? Thanks, Dave. It's somewhere over there. Erica's texting me, but I can't see it because it's on a dark background, but I want to get my phone.
So Trump would have won 60% of the vote if he had governed like he campaigned. When he got into office, he didn't make any bold actions. He had a reputation of being a bold guy who could stand up to the deep state. He didn't do any of that. He was a coward. I'm sorry to say he was a coward.
No, my phone should be around there somewhere, no? One second, guys. Let me go find my phone. All right, perfect. Excellent. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Cool. All right, give me 1 second. We do have to look at Bitcoin charts. I know.
If you're going to look at Bitcoin charts, we do have a question on that. John Cranfield asks for you to check out the 3-hour daily Arun.
Jesus Christ. I have like family members asking me what's the latest and greatest, most efficient Bitcoin miner. And I'm like, no, no. All right. One second. Okay, great. Oh, Erica sent me an article, said put it on the show. Coinbase. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is getting serious. You got to get out of the US, guys. Oh man. Am I on screen share yet or no, right? I'm not, right?
No.
Okay. Oh, this is not good. All right, here we go. If you to all, and I'm not gonna say this very clearly, to all the assholes out there that said Trump was bad for crypto and was an enemy of crypto, and I had said in forever that when the Democrats come in, they're gonna be exponentially more dangerous for crypto. Here is your result. This must have just been published by CoinDesk, and I'm going to go to screen share. Get ready. Yellen says cryptocurrencies are a concern in terrorist financing. This is the first thing that she announces as she becomes once again.
So that's a non-story. I'm sorry, but that's a non-story. That she says exactly the same thing that Trump said. There's nothing different with what her rhetoric is with what Trump's rhetoric is. So I don't understand how this is even a story. They haven't even done anything yet. They just basically said,
"Oh, they will. Oh, they will." See, the problem is, Trump is a capitalist, and these people are socialists with one foot in the communist closet. So they will absolutely do something. See, your money is their money. At least Trump understands that your money is your money. These people don't understand the concept that your money is your money. Their brain functions the following way. Your money is my money, and I can do whatever I want with your money. So these people will label Bitcoin users as potential terrorists. And that is why I look, I made a mistake. I underestimated the lengths that both Democrats and Republicans would go to eliminate Donald Trump. And I thought we had 4 more years before, making before making exit plans, and we don't anymore. So I need to actually, I'm putting plans in motion right now. I feel bad, like my parents are getting very upset, but I am scared to be in the US. I am. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm not overreacting, but I'm scared to be in the US, and I want to leave, and I'm putting in plans in motion, but I'm doing it unreasonably slowly. So my mental panic is not in line with my physical actions of said mental panic. Maybe in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be okay, but I know it's not. And if I didn't have family in the US, this would be a no-brainer. I would have defected long ago. So I don't know. I need to get on the ball here. And I don't know what your thoughts on this are. I'm getting messaged by like 100 different people right now, and I can't like.
What you do about nothing. It's the Tether FUD. It's the China FUD. It's the same thing. You take Trump's tweet from 2019, and it says exactly the same thing.
All right. All right. Any other good questions? Though let me pull up Price. I'm on the screen share already.
Yeah, and if you want a few questions, I got a few questions. I can. Bernoulli's been helping us out. Thank you.
The weekly chart is not crazy concerning. When we hit a high on midway through, We're now consolidating, and next week is the MRI top week. So I don't think we should be all that concerned about this is starting to become more challenging to achieve. But like I said in yesterday's video, if we consolidate all the way through an MRI top and consolidate a week or two after it, that becomes a perfect. Sorry, guys, I have to sneeze real quick. That becomes a perfect conduit for a huge leg up. Let me show you something. I was talking to my developer. My MRI developer is back. I'm so happy. We're gonna start making improvements, changes. He's back working, which is awesome. This is the absolute perfect green star candle. Here's your MRI top. We have consolidation. We consolidated for 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. After the MRI top, they were flip-flopping, and then boom, we broke out on a green 2, above a green 1, above the MRI top, and this was the perfect trade of the year. Right here, perfect trade at 24,000, taking us all the way into 42. If I go back to the weekly chart, I would love to see that again. This could happen at the end of February, middle of February, whatever. And that could literally take us 50% up. So 50% or more than that, 100% up. We went from 24 to 42. That's 100%. We can go from 30 to 60. I would love to see that on a weekly scale. Look, the daily scale has just flipped completely. We now have a red star on a daily scale. Today was the day to go up, not the day to go down. By going down, and lots of things happened today. First of all, the triangle has been broken, but I can maybe adjust it. I'm going to go to the 4-hour time scale, and I'm going to see if I can still adjust this triangle, but it's not looking good. It's very difficult for me to adjust this triangle and keep it legit. I can do it like this. It's actually still pretty symmetric, but that also means we cannot go any lower. This is the new triangle. It's actually a pretty decent looking triangle. And we've now eliminated this as the bottom of the triangle. We now have a new bottom of the triangle. I don't like the double bottom. I don't like the break of the support line, and even well, we haven't broken the prior support line. But we need to go up, and we need to go up now. If we do not go up now, if we are sitting below 35,000 at this time tomorrow, I probably can no longer fudge the triangle. And if we are, we're going to go down hard. So this is last hope. I am already fully invested in GBTC. I still have a few hours to get out, but I am not going to get out. Speaking of GBTC, I have updated my code. This is very good and extremely accurate for GBTC Premium. I am to release this to the public very, very soon. I just have to publish it publicly for everyone to have. GBTC Premium has not been this slow in forever. This is the time I would be loading up on GBTC, but unfortunately, I'm already all in GBTC and my condo has not yet been sold. And even if it is sold, I can't add any more money into my Roth IRA. So if for me, this is a beautiful time. I was already all in. I got in yesterday, but today is a much better day to get in. The GBTC premium is extremely low. We also created the Ethereum premium on ETHE. So people are texting me, but it's hard for me to read them. Hugo is texting me somewhere. Hey, Tone, question for the stream. Do you see descending triangle on the daily? Ooh, good question. Bottom of the triangle would be 34. We'll take a look at that. Thanks, Hugo. Here is the Ethereum premium historically. And you can see how the premium was 1,000% back in June. And it was about 250, 60%. You can see it in the upper left-hand corner there. So we have the Ethereum premium. We have the GBTC premium. These are pretty damn accurate. And you only need to update them once a quarter. So once I release them, there will be a note here once a quarter. Just go to their website and just put in the latest number of Ethereum per share and the date of that set Ethereum per share. So you just update this information once, 3-4 times a year, and it stays very, very accurate. So what my developer's been working on over the last week as he returns after a 6-month break. Okay. So GBTC is premium is incredibly low. And once the bull market picks up again, that should skyrocket. Like, this is absolutely beautiful. What else can I say? Someone asked me about the descending triangle. I don't like the descending triangle. Maybe on the daily. There's not enough candles. No. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. If I delete this line and this line, oh, this is interesting. I'm deleting these lines. I'm gonna draw my triangle. This is very, very interesting. And not good. That is a legitimate descending triangle. I cannot say otherwise. This is a legitimate descending triangle, and it might be, you absolutely have to be very careful. Now, the target of this triangle is not bad. This is a $7,500 upswing. It's pretty bad. Going down 7.5 G's puts you in a very rough area. Puts you in the middle of nowhere. I would rather see a reversal from the moving average or the support line in the $27,000 vicinity. If not, I would expect it to go all the way down to 24. The triangle target puts us at 26. I will be watching this very, very carefully. So what is my plan? I am so bearish the US dollar and the US government. I want no exposure to US dollars. I am selling my property. I'm going to use those dollars immediately. I mean, I'm not going to say how much I'm planning to sell my New York condo for, but when that money in my bank account, that money is going to be immediately used for other purposes. I have no intention of keeping US dollars in the bank. I have no intention of buying US property for myself. I might buy something in Florida for my parents, Florida or Texas. Oh, speaking of Florida or Texas, Twitter, guys, follow me on Gab. I will eventually switch from Twitter to Gab. So follow me on Gab, follow me on BitcoinHackers.org, Mastodon. Everything is at Tone Vays. Still haven't read the Tether article. It's so weird. People are like, Tone, be responsible and warn people about Tether. I don't warn people about speculation. Like, I have no evidence that Tether is a scam. So unless I have evidence that Tether is a scam, I'm not going to do it. See, I have evidence that the election was fraudulent. That evidence is my eyes. My eye told me that the election was fraudulent. I was watching the election on TV, and you can see on TV how the votes are being flipped from Trump to Biden. That's all the evidence I need. That's my evidence. My eyes is my evidence. I trust what I see. But I don't have evidence that Tether is a scam. So I'm not going to warn people about Tether being a scam if I don't have any evidence. But I have evidence. It's in my head that the election was fraudulent. Now, other people don't believe that election was fraudulent, and that's their problem. I know the election was fraudulent, and I am living my life according to what I believe, the fraudulent election. I don't have evidence that Tether is fraudulent, and I am living my life with the evidence in my head that Tether is not proven to be fraudulent. Like, I don't understand why people have a problem with my thinking. Dave, do you have a problem with my thinking?
No.
Right. You can disagree with my thinking, but I don't understand why you have a problem with that thought process. Anyway.
If anything, Tone, I think that when you were going after Tether back in 2017, I thought that you were kind of going a little bit too hard because I thought it was a non-story even back when you were kind of doing a lot of interviews with Bitfinex and stuff.
What am I searching for? Tour de Mister. His Twitter is private, but I follow him. Oh, there's 2 using it. Tour de. Oh God, I hate when they do that. Twitter, you are such a shitty platform. Like, I search for stuff.
I'll just send you. Look.
No, it's okay. I got it. No, because like Twitter just sucks, and I can barely see on black backgrounds in light. This is why I like white backgrounds. Where is my search feature now? Like, the search feature is now gone. So you search for something, you search for Tour, his name shows up, you go to click it, and then they bait you into some kind of search window. So Tour tweeted out something interesting this morning. Here it is. I love this chart. I absolutely love this chart. You know what? New York, Illinois, and California, you know, these communist freaking governors and mayors. I hope every single resident of your ridiculous policy states gets the hell out. Look, in the last year, 250,000 people went to Florida. And you know what? This is unreasonably small. Okay? Everyone is going to move to Texas, and everyone is going to move to Florida. And if these people, like, if I was a dictator and you moved from New York or Illinois or California into my state, and my state was Texas or Florida, and you vote Democrat, you get kicked out. Go back to New York, go back to California, go back to Illinois. These people, if you have moved into Florida or Texas and you even dare vote for a Democrat, you don't deserve to live in these states, okay? There's a reason why you're moving there. You're moving there because your shitty voting destroyed these cities. Thoughts, motorist?
Yeah, that's been the trend for a long time. People are going from poorly managed states to well-managed states, from high-tax states to low-tax states. I mean, it's funny. You would think that a high-tax state would have their finances easier to manage, but it's always the opposite. The states that tax the most also can't figure out how to pay all their bills.
Right. So I'm trying to move my parents down to Florida because they're retired. I'm trying to get the hell out of the nation altogether. My other family members can't exactly move to Florida or Texas right now, but they are certainly thinking about real estate there. I don't want to own any U.S. real estate. I don't want any ties to the U.S. as I continue to make plans to just get the hell out, because the problem is that, look, there are legitimate arguments can be made that Trump actually won California and they cheated him out of it. There is also legitimate arguments can be made that Trump would have won 45 to 48 states if the Democrats didn't cheat. And I actually believe that. And the fact that no one is actually fighting for Trump and no one got arrested for all the election fraud makes me, it's basically putting America in the same bracket as the Venezuelan elections to re-elect Chavez. Chavez's original election was legit. People were just, mentally manipulated into voting Chavez in. But once Chavez was elected, people went to vote him out, but they weren't able to do it because he was able to cheat in all future elections. Now, the only difference between what Chavez did and what the Democrats did, the Democrats were able to cheat to get elected to begin with. And to me, that is so much more dangerous. In a way, I can make an argument that this is less dangerous than what happened with Chavez. But either way, it's an issue. So But the Republicans will probably win an upcoming election for president because they're all working together. There's not big of a difference between the Democrats and Republicans at the Senate level. They're all equally corrupt. They're all corrupt. And in order to kind of calm down the patriots, those that have an American flag, there will need to be a Republican president elected. Probably, maybe not in the next. It's not going to be DeSantis. It's going to be like a Pence. It's going to be like a socialist in disguise as a Republican. And that guy will probably be president in the near future in order to kind of calm down the people. But where this country is going, it's scaring me. All right. Back to charts. Look, I see the triangle. And it's amazing how I've been bullish for months. Well, I've been bullish most of the year. I've been bullish since March, but I've been especially bullish since we broke 20K. And everyone is now replying to me, calling me an idiot, and that Bitcoin is going back to like $8,000. And these people are insane. I would be surprised if Bitcoin ever goes below 20,000 again. I am still bullish. I see the triangle. I respect the triangle. And I'm not yet convinced that Bitcoin's going to crash because I am so bearish on America that people are trying to flee their excess capital into anything. And Bitcoin is just their best option. Hey, any questions from the live viewers?
Yeah, there's
Hey guys, my computer is about to straight up die. This is over. My portable charger is charging it, but not nearly fast enough. I can lower my brightness from my end, and maybe that will save me a little bit of bandwidth. But my computer during the stream has drained from 100% to 22%. And it just drained 3% while I've been talking the last 2 minutes. So this stream is going to end very, very soon, very briefly, because I just wanted to give you a nice view behind me, and I'm not plugged in to the outlet.
There was a number of super chats. I don't know if you want to go through.
Yeah, just read them out real quick.
Okay, sure thing. So
we get disconnected.
Sharp TV, thank you to Bitcoin for Girls and Bernoulli for sending them to us. So Sharp TV says these videos have been a very valuable view into the thought process of Trump supporters for me. Thank you and stay based. And then look, so we got.
Okay, look, real quick. I'm not a fan of Trump's personality. I mean, like Bernoulli said, I'm not hiring Trump as my babysitter. But Trump's personality is no different than Putin's personality, and I'm not a Putin fan. Being a former Russian, favorite countries in Eastern Europe are Ukraine and Georgia. I would love to just live between Ukraine and Georgia. Oh, awesome. I might be able to connect. Sweet. But I'll need that big charging. Awesome. Dave's hooking me up right here. I got a connection. Nice. We can keep going with the Q&A, and I'm drinking away my Soros here with tequila. And look, I'm not a fan of Trump's personality, but here's why I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a Trump supporter because Trump is a capitalist. And that's the important part. The important part is that Trump is a capitalist. And there's two things, actually. One, Trump is a capitalist, and I'm a capitalist. So, to me, all Trump cared about companies employing people. And U.S. had some of the lowest unemployment rates under Trump until the Democrats screwed up the world with the virus fear. I'm about to get into conspiracy land, but they're not that conspiratorial. Every day I get people, like even today, someone is like, Tone, Trump was speaking in front of a flag that had a gold rim around the flag. And the gold rim around the flag means that we're in the time of war. And I'm looking at these things and I'm like, come on, guys, come on. Like, not every single dot in an I and every single cross of a T is a hidden message for like the Freemasons or whatever. Enough. You know, some guy doing this with their hands in a picture is not some hidden message that there is, you know, a plot to take over the world. Like, give me a break, all right?
Tone, can I share screen for just a sec? I just want to show a tweet by Luke Radowski.
I may need to give you permission. There you go.
All right, so let's see here.
Look, can we just keep our conspiracies to the macro level and not the micro level of repeating a certain word, meaning that, you know, something's going to happen?
So this touches on two of the points you made. One of them is the conspiracy theory. The second one is the censorship. So here's Luke. You know Luke. I know you've met Luke.
I know Luke.
Yeah. So for all you, you know, I'm not going to say the word people. I told you so. I wish I could have done more to expose the disinformation and propaganda psyop you are being manipulated into, but YouTube made it impossible to even critique your movement. I just thought that was like the
right. Look,
tweet.
So
you can even make a video exposing it as a fraud, as a hoax.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna say the word. I'm gonna say QAnon. I don't understand QAnon. Like, people ask me, Tone, can you comment on QAnon? Look, I can comment on BLM. I've seen BLM in action. I can comment on Antifa. I've seen Antifa in action. I can comment on the Proud Boys. I've spent an entire evening marching with the Proud Boys around DC. Not on the 6th, but the time before that when they all came to DC. I can comment on these things because I've seen it with my own eyes. I can't comment on QAnon because I don't understand what QAnon is. Can you give me a TLDR on what QAnon is?
I don't think I understand it either, but to me, it just seems like there was this theory that there was someone within the deep state that was helping out Trump. And I don't know, that's what I understood about it. It was hard to even Google. I couldn't even Google what it was because all the Google results are censored.
Right. So I am, hold on, Jimmy Song is messaging me. Let me see what he had to say. Jimmy.
You have a few more super chats as well. You can go through if you want.
But once I'm off the video, I will message him. Okay, live now. Okay, so, all right, I think I might be okay with the power. I'm plugged into the actual outlet. Okay.
That's good news.
So, look, I can't comment on QAnon because I don't understand QAnon. I don't know if it's an organization. So far, everything I know about QAnon is that it's these hidden messages across the board. And I had many people message me wanting to bet me that, like, these, like the great reset, like the amnesty, Trump was going to do this and this. And I'm like, you know what? Stop. Okay, look, here's the tone-based conspiracy theory. Trump was doing so good as a president. And I know you can disagree. You can disagree. Going into the end of 2019, Trump was doing so good as a president. And people were so scared of Trump. Hold on. Got it. All right. Damn. Trump was doing so good as a president, low unemployment rate, very popular with people that weren't watching CNN or any other mainstream news channel. And the politicians, especially the politicians, were so scared that Trump was going to get reelected for a second term. And they were willing to do anything to prevent Trump's reelection. And I mean anything, because if you're a politician, if you're a senator, if you're a congressman, if you're a governor, and you feel that if Trump gets reelected in his second term, you are going to prison for the rest of your life because he knows some shit and he can't execute his plan in his first term. He could only do it in his second term because in a president's second term, they are a lot less fearless. And this is where Trump screwed up. Trump did not drain the swamp in his first term. I think Trump was waiting to drain the swamp in his second term. And he grossly underestimated the lengths. And I'm not just the Democrats and the Republicans would go to eliminate Trump. And the lengths they went to is turning a virus that is not that dangerous with very simple cures that do not require any advanced craziness like vaccines or ventilators. People could have been cured with hydrochloroquine and what was the other medicine? I forgot the name. But like a virus that probably is the least dangerous, least deadly virus from the last 20 years of viruses like the swine flu and the H1N1 and what was the other one? Well, Ebola is not that easily transferable, but there were other similar viruses that we had to deal with in the last few decades, plus the flu itself. This virus that was not very dangerous, they turned it and created a perception of a deadly virus that is not actually deadly. But they went to great lengths to make it deadly. Doctors not providing simple, cheap, available cures. Instead, doctors utilizing the worst methods to treat the virus that would kill people. Paying hospitals for COVID deaths and COVID patients. This YouTube channel, this video will probably get my YouTube channel banned. I don't trust a single doctor anymore. I'd rather go to a freaking shaman in a tent at this point. This is how much respect I have for doctors. I have zero respect for doctors. Zero. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, most 90% of doctors in this world are now a piece of shit from this incident. They turned this virus that was barely deadly into the deadliest thing known to man. And they got so much out of doing that. They get to force vaccines. They get to implement tracking software. They get to limit your ability to travel. They put you in constant state of fear, making you dependent on the government. And most importantly, they used it to destroy Western economies, all to eliminate Trump to get reelected. I know this sounds like a giant conspiracy theory, but the lengths that people were going to eliminate Trump for their own survival had no bounds. No bounds. They would kill half the world to prevent themselves from losing power. And not only did the COVID hysteria allow them to maintain their power, it quadrupled it. It was the best of both worlds if you are a tyrannical politician. And if you are a politician, there is a 98% chance the only reason you are a politician is to be a tyrannical dictator. There's almost no other reason to be a politician than a tyrannical dictator. In addition, since I'm on my Tone Vays conspiracy bandwagon, the Epstein circle is the fact that Epstein had dirt on a lot of these guys on both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, mostly having to do in their obsession with, and I want to use the terms carefully here. You know what obsession these people have. But I'm just gonna say the general term pedophilia. But I'm gonna separate the term is that I bet you a lot of these politicians are not into young girls. They're not. I do think that most people are not into young girls. But most people are into pretty girls. And some pretty girls may look and act like they're over 18, but they're just under 18. And we can use Cody Wilson, someone we both know, as an example. And not everyone asks for ID when they happen to meet a pretty girl. So if you are a politician, especially a married one, and you are put in a situation where you had a few drinks, maybe some other substances, and you are connected with a girl that looks like she's over the age of 18, but she happens to be 16, and your encounter with that girl happens to be recorded, you are now a politician.
Hold on a second, Tone. I can take it one step further than what you're even saying, because if there's one thing that politicians crave more than pretty women, it's power. What if they knew that they were being set up and they wanted to be set up anyway just because they wanted more power? They're going to like, you know what? I want power. I want you to do something over me, so you'll grant me the power. I'll do what you say as long as I have the power. So they may have deliberately put themselves in that situation.
No. I strongly doubt that. That seems like, well, look, I want more influence. Like I want 1 million viewers of my channel, but I'm not going to sign my soul away for 1 million viewers. I'm not going to let someone else put me in that kind of a compromising position with me. Like, no, like these guys aren't stupid. Like these guys are smart. You're not like even George Bush, as much as we made fun of George Bush for being an idiot, the junior, agreed. Not the smart, not Dave, not the brightest guy in the world.
Not the brightest guy in the world, but still somehow managed to go to Europe.
You know what? And honestly, like I bet you even George Bush Jr. wasn't that dumb of a guy.
No, I don't think he is. I think
right.
He's perceived because he acts like a dumb guy.
Right. So no one with an IQ over 100 would compromise themselves in that way for more power, because they don't know how that person is going to wield their power. They get caught on this without knowing. And
you're not thinking like a politician.
No. Even a politician, like no one would let someone else hold that kind of blackmail over them for them to have more power. No. I don't believe that for a second. But I believe that while a lot of these guys are accused of being, pedophiles, I think they were just compromised by girls they thought were 18 and didn't know their encounter with sub 18-year-old girls was somehow documented and recorded with pictures or video, and now they're screwed. They didn't think they were doing anything wrong at the time they did it, but now they're caught in a blackmail scandal. That's my view. Again, conspiracy theory, not conspiracy theory. I believe that is definitely the case, that a lot of these guys are compromised, but not because they are into young girls. It's because they were not careful enough. And they were, because the forces to put them in that compromising position were too great. And this is where Epstein, it's like someone like me, for example, I get offered, places to stay, right? So this happened in like Thailand, where someone is like, hey, we have this awesome resort. It's come to Thailand. You can stay at our resort. It's also like an incubator for crypto projects. And I went there, Willie, Van Zandt, We all met at this place. They're like, hey, you don't have to pay for it. It's a free room. Um, we had a great time. But again, I have to be careful, right? Someone is offering me and my friends a free place to stay at their nice vacation resort. It's all free, right? Now, I feel like I owe that person something. Now, I can always say no. Um, and this is where I'm careful when someone offers me free stuff. I almost want to clarify with them, I need this with no strings attached. You're not going to ask me to retweet your stuff. You're not going to ask me for favors later. But the bigger potential danger is I stay at someone's free hotel or free house, and they happen to have a lot of friends, and I'm a single guy. So I don't have to worry about blackmail with wife and kids, right? But they're like, hey, let's have a party. Hey, here are pretty girls. Hey, this is a friend of mine. She's awesome. She's 20, 21. I'm not going to ask for ID. What if she turns out to be 17? What if she turns out to be 16? What if there was a camera in my room, right? And all of a sudden, I could be compromised. So this is how this stuff happens. When Epstein says, I'll give you, hey, come to this awesome vacation house. We're going to have a meeting with a bunch of CEOs. So this is an inspiring, like this, and right now, obviously, Epstein is a tarnished name. But let's say you just got elected to the House of Representatives. No one even knows who you are. There's 450 House of Representative members. You're a nobody. But you got elected in some, rinky-dink district. And all of a sudden, Epstein, this is a decade ago, Epstein is like, hey, we have mutual connections. We're having this important meeting. The CEOs of Google and Zuckerberg is going to be there. Come with us. Oh, I happen to be flying through your airport. Why don't you just join me on my private plane? I'll fly you out. We're going to go to like Necker Island with, what's his name? Branson. We're going to have this amazing meeting. You will have all these contacts. You're on the plane. There are some pretty flight attendants on the plane that look of age, but are not of age. And you happen to have some drinks on this nice long flight. You happen to have a good time with a flight attendant. And all of a sudden, there is a video of you with a 16-year-old. And now you are screwed. And this is where people need to be real, real careful. And obviously, Epstein's name is known, but there could be 20 Epsteins out there just like him right now, and their scandals have not come out yet for another decade. And I think this is how a lot of politicians have been controlled by some very powerful people. And they never expected Trump to get elected. And the amount of cheating that they did to get Hillary elected was not enough. And this is where they're kind of screwed. And that's my view on it. You can disagree. And Trump, the reason why I'm such a Trump supporter is because he's not a politician. It's not because I like the guy. It's because he's not a politician. And now we are back to the corrupt scum that have been destroying freedoms for decades, if not centuries. And while Trump was certainly not a friend to people like Ross Ulbricht and what Ross did, I believe all drugs should be legal. Trump obviously disagrees. I think that the right, that Republicans are way too religious. I believe there should be freedom of religion, but I think waiting for Jesus to arrest the Democrats and get your election back was not the smart strategy. Jesus was not gonna re-elect Trump. Transparency and the rule of law and the execution of the rule of law was gonna re-elect Trump, not Jesus. So I think that while the Democrats wanna eliminate religion and be more of a communist Russia or a communist China state, the Republicans are a little too far. So I believe there should be freedom of religion, but I don't believe religion should rule your politics. While at the which is the biggest problem with Republicans. I believe that abortion should be legal. I think my view on abortion is maybe not in late term, maybe the first 3 months. I mean, you should know if you're pregnant in your first 3 months. And I think that if you have not gotten that abortion in the first 3 months, you're kind of stuck. I don't believe in I'm not a fan of late term abortion, but I think early term abortion should be a woman's right to choose. I don't think that's a very controversial view on the subject. I don't like the fact that Republicans are on the no abortion bandwagon. I hate that.
I don't like the fact that every time a Supreme Court nominee is up, all they talk about is abortion instead of the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. Right. That's what we should be talking about. All they talk about is abortion every time there's a Supreme Court.
At the same time, hate the fact that the Republicans are so religious. But on the flip side, I hate the fact that the Democrats want to ban religion. They say they don't, but they do. I mean, the communist mentality is to ban all religion, because the communist mentality is that no power should be greater than the state. And if you are a believer in religion, any religion, you have a greater power to believe in than the state. And while I don't believe in that power, I equally don't believe in the state as the power. So I hate them. I don't hate them, but like I hate the state as the power. And I'm not a fan of religion being your power, but I think you should have the right to choose your religion and the right not to have to follow the state, but you don't have the option not to follow the state. You are a slave to your state, no matter what state that is. But in any case, I think we're getting off topic here.
So there were a lot of reports that Trump was actually considering Ross Ulbricht and Assange, not so much Snowden. I don't think Snowden was so much on his wrist, but he was definitely considering Ross Ulbricht. And according to the reports, he was actually very sympathetic to Ross Ulbricht, and he wanted to pardon Ross Ulbricht, but he was scared off by it by his White House counsel, because Mitch McConnell and some senators were saying that they were going to vote to convict him on the impeachment if he did pardon Assange and Ulbricht. And I think they scared him off of it. And that's my proof right there that Trump has no backbone. He can't stand up to these guys. He only thinks about himself. As long as it helps him, he's willing to stand up and take the bold stance. So my hope is that the Senate votes to convict him now. I'm going to be calling Rand Paul. I'll be calling Susan Collins. I'll be telling all these senators, hey, make sure you vote to convict him, because, democracy and all that stuff. So let me ask you this question.
Did Trump have the ability to lower Ross Ulbricht's sentence, or is it all or nothing?
He could have commuted it. He could have changed it to 20 years. He could have changed it to 10 years. He could have just given him time served. He absolutely had the power to alter the sentence to make it less. I mean, he could have done something silly, like just remove one of the life sentences, and he still had another life sentence, but that wouldn't have been it.
But that does nothing. So look, if I was Trump, I would have absolutely pardoned Assange. I would have absolutely pardoned Snowden and taken the consequences of me getting impeached. And I would have lowered Ross's sentence to 10 more years or 9 more years, like till 2030. I don't think I would have fully pardoned, and this is an unpopular opinion in the crypto space. I would not have fully pardoned Ross. I would have lowered it to either 5 more or 10 more. Ross does not deserve to spend the rest of his life in prison. But at the same time, it's not even the fact that he built. It's not even the website. The website doesn't bother me, and I know his mom will probably hate me for this. I have seen enough evidence that even though he wasn't tried for hiring a hitman, the evidence was there. And the reason why that evidence for him hiring a hitman was, and I know the hitmen he hired were corrupt FBI agents. Now, those corrupt FBI agents deserve to spend the rest of their life in prison. I would not pardon the corrupt FBI agents from Ross's case. All 3 of them deserve to spend the rest of their life in prison and in general population, in Gen Pop, not like special because like Gen Pop, if you're a corrupt cop, Gen Pop, they deserve to spend the rest of their life in prison. And I have not yet been convinced that Ross did not attempt to hire them. And if that incident didn't happen, I would be 100% on board. Ross should never spend
have
a
you
day
have you
behind
actually
bars.
read through those transcripts? Because I've read through them, and the best evidence that that was all bullshit is the actual transcripts themselves. If you read through them, it just sounds ridiculous. It sounds bananas. It doesn't sound like how people actually talk. It sounds like some Fed was trying to. He's like, oh, DPR says, oh, I'd like to threaten him with, physical harm. It's like, that's not how people talk. That's not, there's no way Ross typed that. I think the best evidence against the fact that he ever tried to hire anyone was the actual, and the fact that the so-called victim, Curtis Green, on Twitter is a big supporter of Ross, and he wants Ross to be freed, and he's not afraid of Ross. The guy who was supposedly targeted by Ross is saying Ross should be out of prison. To me, that's enough evidence right there. You can't convict someone. We have something called due process. If someone wasn't
I would have loved for that to be out in court. I would have loved to see the murder for hire charge to be challenged in court. But my understanding is the only reason why the murder for hire charge was eventually dropped was because the Justice Department was convinced that Ross will never, get those two life sentences removed. So for them, there was no.
That doesn't matter. On the books. Their reasoning doesn't matter. The fact that they drop, normally they don't drop charges that they know they can get convictions on. I think they were pretty sure that it was going to be they were going to have a tough time proving this in court. I don't convict people based on a Wired article. 99% of people who are convinced Ross is guilty read a Wired article from 2015 or whatever, and they're convinced that because it was in a Wired article, it must be true, and they don't do any critical thinking outside of that. In my opinion,
again,
you should get a medal.
That's my only problem. Like, I have no problem with Ross building Silk Road. I think all drugs should be legal. I don't do any drugs. Again, it's the compromise part. Like, I'm too public of a person. I can't do drugs. I don't even touch weed. I don't touch cannabis, even in places where it's legal. I am very careful. I drink alcohol in places where it's legal, which is almost everywhere, except some parts of the Middle East. And I stay away from anything that could potentially compromise me because I don't want to ever be compromised. So for me, I don't have a problem with drugs. I think they should be legal. If the murder for hire, cloud wasn't hanging over Ross Ulbricht, I would be on the full bandwagon. He should have never went to prison. He should be pardoned. But because of that cloud, I think his sentence should just be reduced to something reasonable.
Do you think it's possible to find a hitman online?
Hmm?
Do you think it's possible to find a hitman online?
Probably no. They're all feds.
No, I would say 98% of them are scams, and maybe 2% are feds. So there are places you can go where there's hitmen listed. They're all scams, by the way, and some of them have been very well documented that they scam people who want someone killed, and they get money, and then there's like, oh, we need more money to get this done, or oh, we need a little bit more money. So they keep it's not like a Nigerian thing scam. They're all scams. I think that first of all, I'm 99% sure that Ross didn't do this. I mean, I read those things. I was laughing out loud. This was like a comedy script. It didn't even make any sense. The dialogue made no sense. It just seems like a federal agent sat down and wrote out a bad TV script. That's to me what the discussion sounded like to me.
All right. Anyway, I think we should turn the conversation back into Bitcoin before I get more hate from the public here. How much people hate me in the live chat now?
I don't know. They hate me. They hate you. I guess they hate everyone. But there's some positive in there too. We do have some more super chats I want to quickly mention. Nick Sem says, "What's your opinion on BlockFi? Will the company survive long-term market crash?" Thank you. Even though, all
right, guys, look, I know alcohol is a drug, but you also know the difference between alcohol and drugs. Like, it's when people say drugs, they don't mean alcohol. I mean, it's just common sense.
casual with drugs.
Right.
The
Right.
legal
I don't.
definition.
I actually. I don't. The only pills I ever take are like allergy, like a Benadryl or a Zyrtec, or uh, the only other like medicines I've taken besides besides allergy meds is antibiotics. So ear infection, eye infection. It's what happens when you travel to third world developing nations. Uh,
By the way,
yeah, go ahead.
I've been against Trump since 2015, and as far as I'm concerned, I've been proven right. I was proven right. I was against Trump from when I first heard that he was running for president, and I've been right all along. I knew exactly what he.
Well, I mean, I was for Trump since he was running for president, and I think I've been right as well. So it's it's a matter of opinion.
It's a matter of perspective, exactly.
Yeah, it's a matter of perspective.
So someone's worried about
Look, and by the way, Trump will go down in my book as the best president of my lifetime. Again, controversial opinion.
I don't know. Jimmy Carter, maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know about that. Reagan wasn't too bad.
What do you want? You want questions? You want super chats?
I'm gonna glance at the price of Bitcoin and then we'll do questions.
Okay.
But we're popping, guys. This is the I think we're popping because I saw that daily chart spike up a little bit. What's my price on the daily chart here? We're above 35. We're above 35. Look, we got to go up and we got to go up now. We don't have any more leeway to the downside here. If we wake up tomorrow morning and we're not above 36,000, this descending daily triangle is most likely going to play out. Like it's now or never for Bitcoin right here. Well, not never. It's now or way later for Bitcoin. And Ethereum is still leading the way here. Like Ethereum is on the dollar chart is still looking very strong. So which is why I'm actually optimistic Bitcoin because of all the stupid people buying Ethereum. All right, motorist chat. Let's go.
Okay, so do you want your opinion on BlockFi or if it'll survive a market crash or not? It was a $10 super chat, someone said.
I mean, BlockFi will survive. I mean, BlockFi doesn't have a shitcoin. I believe that they're arbitraging Barry Silbert's GBTC. So BlockFi, that's the rumor that I saw. Not rumor, it could be fact. That's the view that I saw recently. Is that BlockFi borrows your Bitcoin, sells it to GBTC because they need it. They pay you, or they pay you a nice interest rate on that Bitcoin. Meanwhile, they're earning very good interest rate on the Bitcoin on the GBTC that they buy with the money. So you lend BlockFi your Bitcoin. They sell that Bitcoin to GBTC at spot price. They use the money from selling that Bitcoin to GBTC, probably to buy GBTC from Grayscale. And then once the 6-month lockup is up, they sell it at like a 10% premium to 20% premium. So BlockFi is probably earning 10 to 20% on your Bitcoin while paying you 6%. Now, if GBTC premium, BlockFi could actually destroy the GBTC premium, which could be interesting. So this is a really good dynamic. If GBTC premium stays below 6%, BlockFi could be fucked. And now they can't pay you your 6% interest. So they would have to drop the interest rate for you. And if there is enough people locked in into a 6% interest and BlockFi can't make the 6% interest obligation, they will either get sued or turn into a Ponzi scheme. They're regulated. The probability of them turning into a Ponzi scheme is small. They're not BitClub. At least Joby Weeks is finally out of prison. They're not BitClub. I don't expect, but one of the reasons why this GBTC premium may not go back to 20% is because BlockFi is charging this premium away. But if the next round of FOMO could overwhelm GBTC shares, which I still believe that it will, and there will be one more spike in GBTC premium back to 30 or 40%. I still believe that. And hopefully by then, there'll be a real ETF. But a real ETF ain't coming for at least a year or two.
We got a €5 super chat from Paul. How likely would the banks ban transfers? How likely would the banks ban transfers to and from crypto exchanges? And if so, what impact on price short term?
That's a good question. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it'll be difficult for the banks to ban bank transfers to regulated exchanges. They might ban your transfer to Binance, but I don't think they'll ban your transfer to Kraken, and because Kraken has a U.S. banking license. So how in the world is a bank gonna ban a bank transfer to another bank? So I don't see it. How are they gonna ban a bank transfer to Gemini, to Coinbase, to ICE? I don't see that happening. So if you're a U.S. regulated exchange, I don't see them banning your bank transfer. Now, they could ban it to a non-U.S. licensed exchange, and I don't think it'll matter all that much. I mean, people will get creative. I mean, if you want to trade on Binance, you can always buy your Bitcoin on Kraken or Gemini, move that Bitcoin into Binance. You know, I don't think it'll affect it all that much.
And then God's Cop sent us another $5 super chat. He was the one who was asking about the vote earlier, but he basically asked the same question you just answered. So,
man, anything interesting? How many people we got live viewing us right now?
15, almost 1,600.
All right. Well, look. My views on Ross Ulbricht are not exactly favorable in the libertarian community. I mean, I thought, look, he should have gotten some time, but that's just my opinion. I'm not a lawyer or a judge. I felt that he should have spent some time behind bars, not the kind of bars he's behind. He should have gotten the Charlie Shrem treatment of, 5 years at some, camp with no fence. Probably would have been the best of both worlds. Do you not agree with that?
Who, me? No.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have gotten any time. I mean, I think what happened is that people hear the word drugs and they lose their mind. Like, oh, drugs, they're thinking of some 80s action movie where there's a drug lord in Beverly Hills or something. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking they just lose their minds when they hear the word drugs. They're not thinking past the point of maybe somebody is on drugs and they need help to get off of it. And they were using, Silk Road to do that. And there was doctors on Silk Road that were helping people get off of drugs. I think that people they don't think past, what the media tells them.
No, I agree, but drugs are still illegal in the U.S. and he's a U.S. citizen. So, but I just think that, obviously 2 life sentences at a max, prison for violent criminals is like beyond disgraceful. There was a Craigslist killer, and they didn't put the guy who made Craigslist in life in prison. I mean, people were actually robbed and murdered because of Craigslist, but they didn't actually, and people sell drugs on Facebook. It's not, Mark Zuckerberg's not in prison now for that. We get a question from Sam. I agree. It definitely wasn't fair.
Yeah, we got a really good super chat question from Sandsnake for $5. Your thoughts on MSFT, Microsoft breaking out of the symmetrical triangle daily, which I'm in, and is the gold slingshot you were referring to up almost 2%? For some reason, I said MSTR at first, then I realized it's Microsoft.
Yeah, I get those stickers confused myself. I haven't looked at the gold chart today. No, the gold slingshot it's not. It would have to go up. Like this had a chance to be a gold slingshot if we would be at new all-time highs by now. So this so far, this is nothing to me until we get back above this line, wherever that line is. Wait, I can turn on my second monitor of my laptop so I can move this out of the way. Give me a second.
By the way, Bernoulli was asking for slow-mo, but Bernoulli, if you hit control, it stops the scrolling. So if you need the scrolling to stop, if you're on a laptop, you hit control, it'll stop it. So if you need, yeah.
Am I on screen share right now?
I think so. Yeah, you're on screen share.
Okay. So to me, until we go above 1950, I don't really care about gold. I'm only going to care about gold if we go above 1950. So we're done with gold. Stock market is at a new all-time high because there was certainty in politics. Anytime there is certainty, markets will rise. So I'm not surprised. Apple. I took a look at Apple today again. I was on my phone with my developer who traded Apple, got out of Apple on the daily MRI top in line with weekly, in line with monthly. Hasn't fallen all that much, but certainly has fallen. MSFT. Whoa. I don't think it was ever in a triangle. I think it's simply in a channel. I see this as a channel. It's not a great channel, but it's a channel. So until Microsoft gets above the prior swing highs, just like gold, it's not interesting to me. And earnings is coming, so I would not do anything. It's very disappointing that these tech companies are doing well because I think it's time for them for the people to stop supporting them. And unfortunately, I use Windows myself. I'm not ready to yet to switch to Linux, but maybe one day I will. Oh man,
You want more questions?
I'm getting ready to call it a day. Yeah, but I don't want to look at charts. I don't. Let me glance
see
at
if there's
Bitcoin
any
one last
general
time.
questions.
I just don't want to look at charts. I want to. We'll look at charts maybe tomorrow. But if there's any questions that don't require charts, let's do it.
Do you think blacklisting will be the new oppression that in the coming times as blockchains, Bitcoin continue to grow and integrate with society? So someone's asking about blacklisting, Brandon.
Blacklisting what? People or addresses?
I think the way I interpreted the question is blacklisting, as in you can't fly, you can't open a bank account, stuff like that. You can't be
blacklisting people.
Yeah.
Right. Blacklisting people is definitely going to be a thing. And it's definitely going to be a thing. You have to understand, I mean, we already went down the conspiracy tunnel, but you have to understand that these people that are now controlling the government, they think there's too many humans in the world, which is dumb. There's not only it's the same view that humans cause climate change bullshit, and that there's global warming. If there's global warming, how come half of America is moving to Florida and Texas? It's been freezing. It was snowing in Austin. It's been freezing here in Florida. Today is a nice day.
That's why I moved to New Hampshire, to get away from global warming.
Yeah. And you're going to learn the hard way that you should have moved towards global warming. It's probably going to snow in Mexico in the next 10 years. People just don't get it. And they're already spinning it that, the reason why it's snowing in Mexico is because humans altered the climate to the point they flipped it. Like, give me a fucking break. It's ridiculous. But these people are dumb enough to think that there's too many people in the world. They're that stupid. They just don't understand. I mean, they're not actually stupid. They're smart people, but they're dangerously smart to where they want to lower the number of people on the planet, and they think they'll just be the elites in charge. And they will go to any lengths to kill people, whether it's war, whether it's vaccines, whether it's, removing their will to live by mentally breaking them down with lockdowns. They will go to any lengths to increase the number of deaths. They'll put people on ventilators that don't belong on ventilators just to kill them. These people don't care. These people want to destroy lives. They will make laws to make it look like they're saving lives, but these laws take away people's will to live and have kids. So in a way, they're lowering the number of humans on the planet. And this is why they're trying to, control Africa and stuff, because it's one of the few places with a positive birth rate, Africa and India. And where am I going with this concept? What was
global population? Blacklisting, I think.
Oh yeah, blacklisting, right. So anything they can do to give themselves more control and to demoralize people and remove their will to live, they will do. And it seems like because people started to enjoy life of travel, anytime, it's like a jealous ex-wife, right? You have a jealous ex-wife and she sees that you have some kind of freedom and life enjoyment, she will do anything she can to take that away from you. So the government works the same way. Anytime the government sees that people are enjoying themselves and enjoying life, and in the last decade or 2 decades, it has become very convenient and very easy to travel and enjoy life. The government comes in and says, no, 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 you can't enjoy life. We're going to end this right now. So yes, they will do everything they can because they don't want people to actually enjoy life. They want to be in control of the people, telling them what to do, because any state, any government sees the citizens of that government as their slave. Other when this is when they're in position to do so. If you are a citizen of some Caribbean island that sold you a citizenship just to make some money, they don't care about controlling you, nor do they have the ability to control you, nor do they have the technology or the military or the draconian laws to control you. They sell you a passport, you use that passport, go live anywhere you like. Now, the place where you live, the more you become engraved in their society, the more they control you. So if you get a Caribbean passport of Antigua or some other island nation, you can then use that Caribbean passport to go live in another country. And you can name your country, Mexico, Panama, European nation, whatever, assuming they will accept your, Antigua passport. And you show up with that passport and you rent an apartment and stay there, no big deal. Now you're a resident of that country and they go, ooh, he's a resident. We can control him a little bit. Oh, now he has a family here. We can control him more. Oh, now he's a citizen of our country as well. Now we got him. So that is basically, and if you're doing it in another country that isn't interested in controlling you, it's great. But if you decide to do that, I don't understand for the life of me why anyone wants to come to America right now for an American passport. I don't get it. Now, if you are from a wealthy-ish nation, I understand if you have no hope and you're from some village in Africa or India or you're in Venezuela, obviously the US passport is better. But if you're in a nation, even say Colombia, right next door to Venezuela, and you can have a good life in Colombia, why in the world you want to be subjugated to the US tyrannical and draconian laws if you can have a good life in a place like Colombia or an Eastern European nation? And going back to like the Putin part, I love Ukraine and I love Georgia. And here's why I don't like Putin. Because Putin is trying to take over Ukraine and Georgia. Putin is great for Russian people because he's a strong leader. just like Trump was great for American people because he's a strong leader. But Putin ain't great for Russian neighbors. I would be scared. The one thing that prevents me from living in Ukraine or Georgia is the fact that Russia can just take them over and there ain't nobody that could stop it. If the US or China does not help Ukraine or the Republic of Georgia, Putin can just take their land. And that's what would prevent me from living in Georgia or Ukraine. Now, Ukraine becomes a member of the European Union or Georgia does, they at least get the protection of the European Union. Because then if Russia takes over Ukraine or Georgia, they also declare war on every European nation. Probably not something Russia wants to do. But if you're in Russia...
I have a prediction for the Biden administration. That's a pretty obvious prediction.
What is?
So my prediction is that Biden will have astronomically high approval ratings as president, and they're going to manufacture consent for whatever he does. So whatever ridiculous plan he comes up with, they're going to say, "Oh, look at his approval rating, 65%, highest, highest, most popular president
80%,
ever."
90%. Biden, yeah. Biden got the most votes in American history, and Biden will leave office as the most approved president in American history. Now, Biden will have no idea where an approval rating is. I'm not sure Biden has any idea where he is or what planet he's on. But Biden will be the most approved because it doesn't matter anymore. There is no penalty for cheating. There is no penalty for cheating. If there was a penalty for cheating, people would be in prison for election fraud. There is nobody in prison for election fraud. That matters. They can arrest some, 60-year-old woman that no one cares about for election fraud. Who cares? Who cares? There's no.
Do you want to play that video?
So it doesn't matter. What's up?
Do you want to play that Biden video from the other day?
oh yeah. Where he doesn't know where if he's standing or sitting.
He seems like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Because he doesn't. I'm sorry. Like some people get old and senile. It's life. I'm not being disrespectful to old people, but that's what happens. It can happen to all of us. He's old. That's what happens. This is why he's too old to be president. Not old, but he's too medically unqualified to be president. And it's obvious. Again, I believe my eyes, not CNN. I believe my eyes. And my eyes tell me he's in no physical condition to be president. Just like my eyes told me there was massive election fraud. It's that simple. There's no...
He can barely get through a speech. I don't know if they got him on drugs or what.
Well, that's the new America, and I need to get back to work on filing paperwork to get my ass out of here.
Fair enough.
All right. I think this is good. I'm gonna leave it here. Gotta do a bunch of other stuff. And thanks for hanging in there with me, motorist. And I'll probably look, if Bitcoin doesn't bounce right here, I think the descending triangle is going to play out. So we'll see what it is in the morning. Bye, guys.
All right, looks good. Later.
Yeah, enjoy the view behind me.
Yeah, pretty nice. I don't even know where you are.
Yeah, also,
Tampa.
I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I don't know if I'll be able to fly again. I mean, I have to go to certain places to sign paperwork.
Bro, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I wouldn't be surprised. We're not on air, right?
We are on air.
Oh, we are. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Let me get off air. We'll talk after.
Signed off.